Ladies and gentlemen, Easy Money in the Bank, hosting for the first time ever under the circus tent. Don't have the background, but working on it.
Growing
Welcoming
pains.
your man, your host, typically a guest in his own house here tonight, Grant Fussell, or AKA Splashtastic. Good evening, Grant.
Easy, welcome back. I appreciate it. It's
Yes,
weird being
sir.
on the other side of the table. The tent does look a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
different
yeah,
from this side. The
yeah.
range is a little different. The colors adapt a little bit more. I'm very excited to be on this side of the table to give my background on the league and what I think of what's going on and what I think is going to go down. I'm very excited to be here. I
Yeah,
appreciate you
absolutely.
taking time.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I again appreciate you having me back here, and again switching roles and switching seats as the host for the first time. So very honored, and of course wouldn't have requested a different guest besides the ringmaster himself.
Ooh, I like
You
that.
know, Grand Fussell. So long time no talk. I'm sure everybody's already tired of hearing us talking, but again, we're switching roles here. We're
Yep.
switching seats, and obviously ready to ask you some questions. First things first, about life. We're friends first. How we all became in this league, of course, as friends, and one of the best leagues I think we can all agree on for not only a live draft, everyone's
Yeah.
seemingly 10 plus years or longer. So, how are you? How's life? How's things on going on the grand side? You always ask everybody else. So, excited to hear how
Yeah.
things are going for you.
I appreciate it. Yeah, things are going good. I recently made a little transition in the work realm back in July. I decided to leave RPM and
Okay.
I took a new job in finances. So I've been doing that since July. It's been going really well. I had a pretty solid month the
What
last couple months. So
obviously not going into too many details there, but what made the jump? And then obviously it seems like two different industries. Sales is sales, and there's a cycle to that. But
right.
why the jump?
Well, it felt like where I was at, some things started to be taken out of my control, and people that were in spots higher up than me stopped caring about the relationships I had with my carriers. So then I started to
Yeah,
feel it. And, once they stopped caring, I stopped caring. And then it just kind of
yeah.
transitioned into me, having a bad taste in my mouth, wanting to, spread my wings and kind of
Okay,
take my experience and move on. So I had to make a
okay.
pretty extensive decision,
Well,
but,
you have to know your worth, right? And
yeah,
obviously it's time to move on. And at all times you're supposed to be, or you are at the spot where you're supposed to be in that life. And I think that's true. And so there's
yep.
a lesson to be learned all the way along the way. So
Oh, yeah.
happy to hear everything's going well with the new job, new
Yep.
career.
So far, so
Awesome.
good.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, you're here. Internet's on, so a little spotty here and there at times, but
It's funny. We get
hey, it's
upgraded too.
it's on. So hey, lights are still on in the circus, so it must be going well for
Yep.
Grant and the new Fussels, right? So congratulations
Yep.
on the wedding. So
Appreciate that.
if you guys don't know, Grant and I will always share a special date. So Griffin was born on your wedding day, so
Yes,
I
sir.
apologize for not being there.
That's all right,
But
bro.
obviously, I think I have a pretty good excuse. So, how
Yep.
was the wedding day? I wasn't there, and
It's
of
great.
course, from pictures, you look great. Your
Thank
wife
you.
is beautiful. So, yeah. Well, it was. Tell me a little bit about the wedding.
It was good. It didn't go by as fast as everybody says it goes by so fast. It was like for me, it felt really long. It felt like we had a lot of time
Yeah.
together, a lot of people. It was great turnout for everybody that could make it. I know there was some travel. It was hard for some people to get there. But all in all, it was a great day. A lot of family, a lot of love, a lot of friends, a lot of memories made. It was a good time. I didn't really have anything
Again,
that could have went better. I guess everything kind of went off without a hitch, so to speak, at least from my end.
she said
Um,
yes. So and she was there. So
yeah, I
what else?
mean, so yeah,
Besides that, that's all you need for the day, right?
yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or your boy Easy there probably would have made
Yeah,
it,
I mean,
over
yeah,
the top, of course, but you
KG
know,
two probably.
hey, I wasn't gonna bring it
Hey,
up.
all
I don't
good.
know the
Hey, no, it's
story.
all good.
You know,
You know,
I
life happens, bro. You know, it's
I
all
know.
good.
Hey, man, I think we're all boys and understand things come up and
Yep.
obviously it gets in the way sometimes. But obviously Danielle's doing great. Work
Yep.
is going good. I think you have a few other family members. How's the dogs? I always
Yep.
remember Juggy, of course. I know
Yep.
you have a couple others. What's their names and how are they doing?
So Irie is Danielle's dog she had that was before us. They're doing great. You know,
Okay.
Juggy's getting old. Well, he's not getting old, but he just had his, third birthday. Irie's about to have his sixth, I think. So,
Yeah.
they're doing good. They're still very young at heart, very energetic. They are just a handful, man, gotta have time to spend with them, So it's always good to see when I come home. They're always yelping at the door, dad's home, dad's home, dad's home. So
Kind of segue into both of those. My uncle did a really good wedding speech for my cousin as the father of the bride, and something about the dog. Be like a dog, right? Always excited when somebody comes home, and all of that. Always
yeah.
be playful, that kind of stuff. So I know you always ask about pets. I know you're a huge pet lover, so you ask everybody else. So I wanted to get that one on the board too. So again, sounds like the whole Fussell household is doing great. So happy
Yeah.
to hear that. And um, I know you had a little bit of bad luck recently. Something with your vehicle.
Yeah. Yep. Ran into
You got a new one, so I mean, I
Yep.
guess it could go both ways. Good luck and maybe some bad of what happened, but you got a
Yeah.
new vehicle.
Yep. So we drove into a little bit of too high water that day that the airport got shut down.
Yeah.
And I'm
Was the
actually
water too high or were you? Or both?
both.
All right.
Maybe no, it was like 5 a.m. So I hadn't really given it I haven't given my chance a chance to smoke really yet. So it's
Yeah.
like it was early. And it was a little bit of a hassle there for a couple weeks, but all in all, my boy One Love, Tyler Jones, shout out to him. He was able to hook me up with a car. I mean, basically it's not the same, one of my dream cars that I had, but I am saving a lot of money now. Payments
Yeah.
way
Well, that's a good
less.
thing.
I found out I had gap coverage on my 300, so that kind of almost in the process of wiping my hands clean with that, finishing up the gap coverage claim here, and I got a Jeep Liber or a Jeep Patriot now. It's maroon
Okay.
red.
Okay. Well, hey,
Um,
get the Jeep and then you can drive through any terrain. And then, shout
yeah,
out
I
to the
got 4-wheel
boys. If you
drive.
got, if you got extra money, I think Blake and Corey would like to talk to you. So,
Yeah, oh yeah, I'm
I know you
sure.
joined
Yep.
the bowling league and obviously you're, bowling league. Of course, we're on the same team. So,
Yep.
thoughts
Shout
so
out
far on
Eskimos.
that? I mean, another thing good.
It's
Say what's
been
up.
fun. I said shout out Eskimos.
Okay, that's right.
It's been fun so far. Obviously, I hadn't been on a bowling league about 2.5 years or so. I was on one for a while with some of my boys in Ann Arbor when I used to work out there, and it's been good. I did a lot better than I expected I was going to do in the beginning, and I'm starting to come back down to earth a little bit, and I don't like it because I'm like
Yeah.
where I'm at right now is where like my average was when I like started the league 2-3 years ago. So it's like I
Yeah.
I ended that league with like a 189 average. So like I need to get back up to that. Obviously it's a work in progress. I took some time off, getting the feel back for the hardwood and the lanes and the oil and the circumference of my bowling ball and getting it back to
Okay, yeah, you had firsthand, right? Obviously we're teammates, and I think give yourself more credit than where you're at right now. So only a few weeks in, and you've been very consistent. You had to plug your ball, so there's a new rule
right.
with the thumb hole. Can't use that, so a new technique, and you're doing great. And Eskimos are going to be just fine. So
Yeah, I'm
we'll
excited.
start heating up and melting some ice here pretty soon. So
Oh
look
yeah.
forward to that. But let's get down to it, right? This is what everyone came here to talk about. Appreciate everything that you said, and it sounds like everything's going well. But let's get down to fantasy
Let's do it,
footballing. I
baby.
think
Time for the
G Plus would say.
Splashtastic.
So, of course, we've already got some of your opinions on the rule changes, but let's go to it, right? You want to talk about it? What are your thoughts around the rule changes? We understand that you don't like the rule of taking away the defense on all three sides of the ball in the game, and obviously contributing to the score. Yeah, what are your thoughts? And I think you're actually a rules committee leader, or maybe the
Yeah,
director of
no,
the
so
rules
I am
committee.
the director of the hashtag I'm with Bozo
Okay.
committee that does all this. So,
Yeah.
you know,
So a couple questions there. So one, what do you like about, or what do you not like about the rule changes? And two, since being the director, what are changes that you're going to at least instill or bring to vote for next year?
so first part of the question, I do like the extra keeper. I like I like it to be as much of a dynasty league as we can get, to where if we were ultimately drafting rookies, it would be kind of tight. Then I
Okay.
think people would value trades a lot more, and it would be a whole different dynamic for the team or for the league, that like people would value trades more because they know they can't draft that person the next year, or like 4 years
Yeah.
later down the line or whatnot. Obviously I like the extra year for the extra keeper. That's, I voted yes for both of those. But yes, as I've been on this podcast in weeks past hosting it, I've definitely has stated that I do not like the no defense rule, as it does
Yeah.
take out 2/3 of the game
That's
of
going to be
football because it's a three-sided game.
no surprise here, right?
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
mean, defense
Yeah.
has a
And
huge part
changes that
in the game.
you're going to go back to, yeah. And you're going to vote that back in.
So I
That's going to be
can't
one
do
of
it
yours
by
as a
myself.
director.
So like, yes, I can like bring
Sure.
stuff up to the committee of like, hey, like maybe we should flip flop it. Take out kickers, leave defense. Maybe that would be something I'll
Yeah.
bring up. So far, we've only had one thing be brought up so far this year to the committee. I can't remember what it was off the top of my head.
How many team members, or how many guys in the league are on the committee?
There are. I think I might have to replace one because I think
And
Brett.
how do you get selected to be in the committee?
So I
I
selected
think
it
people want to know
originally.
that.
I just kind of selected originally with people who had the
Okay.
most, who expressed themselves in the best interest of the league normally.
Okay.
So I
So
just
like
kind
just
of
being active,
just looking out for the best interest of like the league
questions throughout the
integrity of
draft
it.
process, or
Yeah, yep, definitely. So
yeah.
the only thing
Okay.
that's come up so far is that the people who voted against trades, that should be visible of who voted to the league. I don't know if that's
No,
the
we just
case
had
or
a
not.
trade that was vetoed. Is that right? Because there was a trade
Correct.
that was out there. Okay.
There
So I
was.
did not vote either way, and so I'll say that. And so I went to go look on Mike's team to see how Lamar did, and I think he had a bad week actually. So
He
my
did.
dog's sitting there like, "Hey, motherfuckers, I told you what happened, right?" And
Hey,
so it did get shot down. So I did not know that.
yeah, it did. Yes, it did.
Okay, okay, all right.
But yeah, so it's like, to answer the other part of the question, I don't just make up the rules that go onto the ballot for the Bozo to look at. It's a whole there's a whole group effort of us. There's
Yeah,
I think seven.
well, I
There's
think
yeah, so
really,
there's
yeah. I mean,
six people on the board, one director, so there's 7 people involved. It's right over half the league. That's what you need. I don't know what happened. I didn't freeze, I don't think. Still connected. Weird.
so I'm showing that you have like red bars down in your corner. So I don't know
See,
if
I have
that's
green ones on my side. That's weird.
okay.
Well, we're back.
We're back. So I was just saying, I think anybody can bring any rule from that committee. We'll, go into the end of
Anybody
year
in the league
three.
can bring anything up.
Yeah,
They just have
true.
to bring it to somebody. And if
Okay.
it goes straight to Eric, obviously Eric will then bring it to us. If they go to somebody else in the league, they
Yeah.
would then, so it's just like, anybody
Okay.
in the league
Well,
can bring anything up for sure.
shout
That's,
out
I
to
mean,
whoever's on the committee or each and every year. What can we do to make that the best league next season and even better than the
Always.
previous one? So,
Yep.
always, right? So good thing is we're always changing, and thank you for leading that and taking charge and
Can't let the
leading
bozo
that up
run
to
all over us. We got to have
and,
somebody, we got people like to stand up for what's right.
somebody's got to be a leader, right?
Yep.
So as you just talked about, you like the new rule with the keepers, the three keepers. So let's recap your off season here and who you kept. And honestly, I think you probably got the most value up till
This week.
or before the draft even started, and saying, hey, you get Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase on your team again automatically. It seems like that would put you just right in the playoff hunt. Right off
automatically. Yeah, off rip, just by having two of the top 3 wide receivers projected in the league for this year. I mean, that was obviously a no-brainer for me. The hard part came of the third keeper was, do I believe in Justin Fields enough to keep him? Or I could have potentially kept it on one of my running backs from last year, which I don't even remember who they are off the top of my head. So probably wasn't a good idea to do that. So like, I kind of looked at it as like, all right, I got 2 of the most athletic players in the league. And if I take Justin Fields, he's also very athletic. So it's like, now going into the draft, I just need to I just tried to fill my team this year with as many athletes as I could.
Okay.
Taking Anthony Richardson.
Which he's done really well. Just
when he's been healthy, he's been good.
Yeah, he can't stay out of the blue tent. So I would think, of course, looking at it in the beginning of the season, having those 3 players, I would have thought you had one of the best keeper draft class. And I think that's pretty obvious with the receivers that you got. And of course, Jamar Chase off to a slow start. Kind of turn the tables as we are today. This past week with Joe throwing 3 touchdowns and 50-something points on
50
Sunday.
points even with a Justin Fields 40-point splasher in there.
Yeah. So one good, and then obviously some bad news on the other side. Justin Jefferson out on the IR with the hamstring.
Yeah, going into the season, I had very high expectations for the team, and to start out the first 3 weeks and go 0-3 was very humbling, to say the least.
Not a good spot to be in.
No, and with the amount of talent that I have on my team, it was very surprising to me. And I got to play you last week, called the Slump Buster game. I had to pick up a tight end. I had to, pray and hope that Jamar Chase would get more than 10 points.
Yeah.
And, I hoped that basically what my team has done the last 2 weeks is what I thought they would have been doing the whole season, which is what I drafted them to do. Score 100-plus points all the time, 100, whatever it was, 40. Now I got 180 this week. So it's like we've been riding the ship a little bit, but now we got the injury bug coming into play, and it's a little tough over here so far.
Yeah, we're kind of going the opposite way. So 2 ships passing. It's I'm getting healthier, and you're having some challenges there, and and this kind of just segues into and transitions into your week 5 matchup, which was extremely close. Corey had even sent out a text message, I think, on Sunday night going into Monday's game. It looks like you guys were a tenth of a point within each other.
We were. It was very close that whole night. I was very on eggshells.
What was your thoughts there watching on Sunday as his points are climbing, and of course as you just are watching Jamar Chase go off, I'm sure you're just like yes.
So I got very scared when Anthony Richardson went out because it was in the first quarter, and I was like, shit, we got points. Like Jared Goff already had, I think, a touchdown or something at that point, and I'm like, shit, Jared Goff's already got double the amount of points than what my guy has, and he's hurt. Like shit, and then lo and behold, he goes off for 33, and it's like. So I was shitting a brick, in those early games. I'm like, shoot, like I'm gonna need somebody to go ham. Justin Fields stepped it up a little bit. Obviously had a 41-point game. Jamar Chase with 52, and the surprise for me this year with the draft, where I got him in the draft, has been Alvin Kamara. Like, I drafted him knowing he was out the first 3 weeks. But
Yeah,
these
smart move.
last 2 weeks, I mean, he's had, basically right around 20 points each week, and it's been a very good pickup for me. Joe Mixon's had a little bit of an up and down season so far. Like he finally
Yeah.
showed up and got double digits. And honestly, the steal of the draft for me is Jacoby Myers. Like
Yeah,
he had good weeks on my bench, and I needed him to get like 15 or 16 points. Maybe it was like 13 points when it all came down to it with him being on Monday night. And
yeah.
when I got that notification, right, first touchdown drive, Jacoby Myers, I was like, let's go. Like
Yeah.
these are the kind of, like, I've been on the sides of these matchups that Corey was on, beating everybody else by double digits almost, besides losing to one person. I've been
Oh,
on
yeah.
this side of it so many times. So it just felt really good to actually be on the winning side of a dynamic matchup like that.
Yeah, that's always the worst when you have the second highest points for the week and you're playing the guy who has the highest points.
I mean, that stemmed a rule change in our
It's
league,
just
I
like,
believe,
throw
or
your
a
hands up.
rule vote in our league.
Yeah.
Because now I think the sixth position goes to if the
As
person
what?
with the most points, if the person with the most points for isn't in the top six, I think they get the sixth position as a playoff spot because they have the most points for. I'm not sure if that's
Hey,
still a thing or if it was voted
to
on
the.
or what. I think it already was. I can't remember. I'd have to go into the archives there and
Yeah,
check.
that'd
Because
be
it happened to Blake
yeah.
one year.
I
He
don't
played
remember
against
that, but
he played against everybody who had their best week, and he had the most points
yeah.
for, but he was number 7 overall in the league. And he didn't make the playoffs. And I think the next week,
I think it was.
next year, we maybe voted on it, but didn't vote it in to law. But I'm pretty sure it did get brought up at some.
I think that was actually Starks.
Maybe, yeah, one of those
Sure
tall
Starks,
guys.
and yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, right. Yeah, everyone's tall to me, so I'm always looking up
Right.
at you guys. So anyway, but yeah, to kind of get into it, I mean that winning streak has put you now into fifth place. How you feeling overall? You just said you're on the up and up and winning 2 in a row, but fighting some injuries.
Yeah, going to be a big test.
What's it going to take for Splashtastic, and what's it going to take for you to get back into the playoffs this year?
So it's gonna take, a bit of luck, like I always like to say. I do have some injuries. It is gonna take some strategic waiver wire pickups, maybe a Splashtastic trade in the mix somewhere. Who knows? You never know.
Have
But
you ever traded?
I have. Oh yeah, I've definitely traded for sure. I mean, I'm open to
All right.
trades. I just, I don't want to be completely fucking ripped off.
Yeah.
It's going to take a lot of people stepping up.
I've sent you a few things over the years.
Yeah, I know, and you were completely ripping me off, so I didn't take it.
I disagree, but
potato, potato.
That's right. That's right.
So it's also going to take people stepping up. I got
into it.
Baker Mayfield is going to have to step it up a ton. Joe Mixon's going to have to pick it up a little bit. If Cole Kmet can stay on the kind of tear that he's on, obviously that would help my Justin Fields numbers a ton. So, it's just going to take people stepping up, showing up, playing football and taking care of business.
Double dip action.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So up and up, you're trending. You're, season ended today, which of course we still have a long way to go.
I'd be in.
You're at 2 and 3, in fifth place. Yeah. Hey, you're in. You're beating. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams that are 2 and 3. So then it's a points race at this point. So what that tells me is, hey, this is going to be a close year. Igor,
took
a loss and took an L there, so he's won. So who knows what could happen in the next few weeks. So getting into it, and this is my favorite segment of the podcast, is always hearing everyone's opinion. So I'll throw it back to you. Who is your top 6? Who's making the playoffs? Who's making a playoff run? No particular order. If you want to throw it out there, who do you think is going to take the ship? Up to you, but we need the top 6. Who's making playoffs?
Well, I looked at the numbers a lot here in the last few hours, kind of trying to get a little perception on this here. first and foremost, I do got to give it up to Mike. He's got a good team. I'm gonna throw Mike in there. He's doing work. He's winning when he needs to, putting up big numbers when he needs to. Next, I'm gonna go with myself. I believe my team is strong enough to still make a playoff push. I'm gonna also go with EZ, Eric's team.
Oh, I think I've been off the board except for week one back.
Well, you picked yourself, and somebody else picked you. No, they didn't. Yeah, no, they didn't. Yeah, it's the only one.
Hey, I'll take it.
Yep.
I'll take it. I appreciate it, G.
Yep.
All right, so we got
We got three in there.
We need three
So
more.
I'm gonna go. Corey's got a strong team, I think. He's gonna be a force to be reckoned with. I'm gonna have to
You're
also.
up close and personal with them this week.
We keep on just rolling with the punches over here.
All right,
I don't know why it's doing that, but if you could still hear me or not.
I can.
Okay. So yeah, Corey's gonna be in there. Don't know if you heard the other part about how he bailed 2 weeks in a row. It's all good. We all got a life. He'll get on here eventually. If he doesn't, you know what? No big deal. Hopefully he'll be in the playoff one. If not, no big deal. We'll figure it out. We keep rolling along with the punches. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna go with B sauce, the Muth. I think Blake's got to make it up in there. And last but not least, this was the tough one. Do I think Igor's going to have a strong enough team to make it the whole way? Or do I think that Duncan or Siraj makes a move? And I think Igor's had a strong enough start where he's going to be able to pull it out and make it into the top 6.
All right. So that leaves Duncan looking on the outside, looking in. Ely outside looking in. Siraj outside looking in. Sarks, Dog, Kevin. So give me your bottom 3 last place.
No crawfish.
That's right.
All right. First and foremost, KG, love you, dog. But
from worst to first to first to last.
Yeah, that would be the tale of two seasons for sure. I mean, he's got to do something. He said he's not making any trades, and he's right where he was at last year, and then he ended up winning it at the end. So
we all know Kev, he's one extreme or the other. So, and he's proven it here. So, KG in the bottom. Who else we got? We got 2 more.
Dog, I hate to do it. You've been a staple in this league in the top 5, top 6 for the last few years. I hate to see it that, you're down there currently. I don't know if you got enough to swing it back enough on the uptick. I would love to see it. Obviously, love playing against you, love beating you in the playoffs, is what it is. Yeah. And then last but not least, we're going to go with Cuddy Sark, my man, Nick. Right. I know he's had a couple good weeks here, but somebody's got to be there. So,
Yep. So as the standings are right now, that's what you say for the bottom 3. So we will see. So hopefully that's some motivation to start doing some more studying, find the right guy, do some trades.
Maybe make a move. Yep.
Shout out to Sarks, Dog, and Kevin for the bottom 3. I think there's a few votes on you. So guys got to get your ass moving. So do something.
Start climbing.
Yeah, let's go. All right, so this is another fan favorite segment of the week, and I think we're on a 3-week streak right now. So
3 weeks
all
streak.
On the line.
3-week streak.
3 weeks.
Make it 4, baby.
Let's go. Can we make it 4? Gee, the bases are loaded. You hit that grand slam to hit it 4 in a row. What is your lock of the week?
Well, I also spent a little bit of time looking at this. As I'm not an avid gambler, but I'm an avid odds looker. If I like the odds, I'll dabble a little bit. $5-10 here or there. I like to spread out the cheese a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So as I was looking at this week's odds, couple things jumped out to me. Um,
We gotta figure out your internet.
is it not working again?
It's yours, but yeah, you can. But you're back now, so
Yeah, it's so weird because it just says green on my side. That's so weird. Anyways, okay. There's a lot of weird spreads out there right now. Like you got Kansas City playing Denver on Thursday night, which will be tight to watch at bowling. Which is a 10.5 point spread, which Kansas City's notorious for never covering a spread anything higher than 3.5 points. So like you can't, I swear I thought I fixed it. It's like trying to connect to my old thing. So
here we
weird.
go. He's back.
It's like trying to connect to my like old extender that I have in here. I'll have to figure that out. Which I thought I already did. But something is very intriguing to me about this here spread on this game. The San Francisco 49ers travel to the Cleveland Browns and are only a 5.5 point favorite. They are the most I don't get it. I'm trying to fucking figure it out.
You keep saying that it's connected to your extender.
No, it's like trying to connect it, but it's our old fucking we got new internet. So like it's connected to the new one, but it like tries to reconnect to the extender and it just doesn't work apparently. Let me see if this works.